Since I moved to Europe, there's just like a few little details that makes me miss America, just a little bit. And one of them is to be completely bombarded with Halloween things. Like Halloween everywhere, houses decorated over the top, decoration in all the shops. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of this, but it's just not the same. To fulfill my Halloween fantasy this year, I'm organizing a costume party and I need a costume. So this is gonna be today's video. My creative monster has this fun little habit. In the last few days of a project, it sends a boost of inspiration, and more often than not, a part of or the entire initial concept get thrown out the window to make space for a fresher, more precise idea. It's actually quite annoying. On the bright side, who am I to complain about constantly being surprised by life and its countless twists and turns filled with serendipity moment that makes this journey we're on so magical? When you look at it from this perspective, it's actually pretty cool. When I get to the point where I realize the concept I've been working on isn't exactly the one I thought I was working on, but everything I've done and gone through until that epiphany is exactly what I needed to go through in order to have that realization, it is when I realize that life's little moments of magic are what makes this whole thing so worth it, and why it's so cool to realize that the more you know, the less you know. So when I first thought about documenting my journey into making this Halloween costume, it was just going to be that. An almost step-by-step story of how I made what I thought was going to be an amazing costume. Spoiler alert, the costume isn't terrible, but it's far from what my overzealous imagination have fabricated. In the end, it made me realize why I've been so focused on Halloween this year, why I wanted to create this costume from start to finish, and how 2.5 years living abroad had changed me. Hello there, welcome back to another episode of Art Diary. My name is Ariel and I'm a multidisciplinary French-Canadian artist now living and creating in Switzerland. Since I left Montreal, I've been feeling homesick a lot, even though I knew it was time to move on for a while. What we end up missing are the connections. The rest we can find in familiarity and the old life we romanticize while knowing that it's all in the past. Things have changed, people have moved on, and that the present moment leading to our best possible future is all that counts. Making a big move like changing countries, adapting to a new culture, making new friends, and finding a new sense of familiarity is hard, and it distorts that concept of who we are and what home is. Most of us wants to hold on to our culture and identity while adapting to a new one because we can't let go of where we've been all this time and just drift away into an identity crisis, but we also have to adapt and learn to navigate this new environment. Since I've moved to Zurich, I've never been this much French-Canadian. And I do miss seeing a ton of Halloween decoration on houses and in shops, so my way to honor this home that I miss so much is to organize a costume party for my new Swiss friends. So for the dress, I wanted to touch on my old days in fashion design school. A million years ago, it's that really cool skill I've set out to learn but dropped out to pursue another career. I'm not completely regretting that choice because I've learned another set of useful skills that helped me today, but I would have really wished to learn everything I'm learning now. This passion for creating clothes, bags, and other sewn items never really went away all these years. It just went dormant until it was time to be reignited. This year is the year I'm officially picking that up and moving forward on all these creative ideas. After drafting the bustier pattern in the most professional way possible, I created the dress extension and ended up making 2 versions in completely different fabric, each with a different way to attach some light interfacing to give the bustier section some structure. I'm not exactly sure which version I like the most yet, but the one made out of an old bedsheet is really comfy, while the green French terry with fleece is really warm, but I'm not 100% sold on the color. to draft the flare sleeve bolero, I first needed to transform my woven fabric bodice into a knit bodice by removing the dart and adding ease to make it a bit looser. Full disclosure, before that day, I had never drafted a sleeve pattern, so I had to learn and make a few experiments before it worked. In the end, it did, so I also drafted a hooded piece and put everything together on my test garment, and bam! I'm so happy how this bolero turned out, and I'll absolutely wear it in my regular life once I line it with a funky fabric to hide the seams. The next day, I went on and made the bolero again in my official fabric, and it turned out even nicer. But I made a mistake drafting a bigger hood, but still came out amazing. In the end, I decided to invest more time in a dress made from a bed sheet, so I hemmed it and started adding some leaves and flower appliques made from scraps. The inspiration for my costume this year is to match my office, so I'm going to be a woodland mystic or a soul of the forest or something of the sort. My Pinterest board was a bit vague, but a bit more on the darker black magic wood vibe, so I figured it would be cool to paint the dress and add a bit of grunge and a dirty hem as I'm imagining this character walking around barefoot in the dirt. A few more appliques later on a few late night, and... Happy Halloween, everyone! I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I wish you all to have an amazing spooky night. Bye! See you in my next one!